Okay, we are just going to go ahead and go live early, right? Um, I just figured why not? I'm ready. So happy Friday, right? And yes, I am in the middle of moving. So everything looks a little bit different back there. A lot of oopsies along the way. And there was just absolutely no way I got everything. I did get the computer moved last week, but I didn't bring all the cables up. So there's that. And I'm not sure that the lighting and everything, we don't have any sound. There we go. Music, I guess. Um, but I figured, well, I'm ready. So maybe you guys are ready too. So we're just going to go ahead and start a little bit early and see who all comes in. I understand it's vacation time, and which the topic tonight is a new bag, but I'm going to wait until some more people get in here. And so yes, I am in the process of moving, and so like for instance, to give you an instance of how this is going, I got the sign, but I forgot the clicker, so I can't turn it on. So the two houses are 45 minutes apart. So it's not like I can just run back and get it and then come back. It's an hour and a half travel uh, down there and back, and then the time spent packing. So it has been a tiring thing. I highly recommend being a little more organized, being a whole lot more organized than I am, and having somebody move you. Just one and done. Get it done. I have been moving myself by myself and bringing up as much as my truck can carry because I come up here 3 days a week anyway. So when I do go back home, I just fill my little truck up. And then when I get up here, I have to unpack everything. And so far, it has been a solo act. So I did have a 4-year-old try to help me a little bit today. Um, if you've ever tried to move with a 4-year-old, you know how that goes, right? So I appreciate the thought and his sentiment behind it, but it's gonna be a process. Now I am having my son is going to help me move the really big heavy stuff, but as far as all the little stuff, like I wanted to move the computers myself, I wanted to move my cameras myself. I didn't want anybody else kind of. If I break something, it's on me, right? And so the little stuff I've moved, I've got end tables, I've got lamps, I've got all this little stuff, but I don't have like. So I've been sleeping here and taking showers here, but I don't have my stuff. So I'm using my daughter's and stuff that she left. So it's not even stuff that she likes. So you get the picture. So it is what it is. And there's Lewis, first in. How you doing, bud? Uh, it has been a whirlwind. So I may be like Saturday nights. Last Saturday I was moving. I'm off on Friday, Saturday, and well, technically I'm off on Thursday, but I get off work at 6 in the morning on Thursday, so I sleep a lot on Thursday. And so I'm off on Friday and Saturday, so that's generally when I've been doing all this moving. And because I work nights, I moved at like 4 o'clock in the morning this morning. I brought another load up here. And because I wanted to babysit my grandson today, and so I just kind of, I'm trying to be two people in one body. The body's getting a little tired, and there's no food in the house. So you don't think about stuff like that. At least I don't, right? I just think about getting this moved and getting this moved and getting this room cleaned out and this room cleaned out. And it dawned on me there's no food in the house. So there was some cheese, some of those little snack cheese things for the little man, and some juice. And so when his dad came to pick him up, I'm like, you need to feed him because he hasn't really eaten a whole lot today. And normally Granny feeds him like every 2 hours. The boy's eating something, right? So that was a big change. So there are some little changes. And there's Scott. Cheers, cheers, Scott. Speaking of, there's no food in the house. What'd you bring us? Because I got nothing. This is my last bottle of water. I am going to have to go to the store tomorrow because they close. I think they close at 11. So, yeah. And Evelyn made it. How you doing? Hello, happy moving day. It's more like moving month, right? I want to get enough stuff up here so that I can be up here when he starts school next month. That's the whole thing behind this move is I want to be closer when he starts school. If he gets sick or needs to, if he gets hurt, whatever, needs to come home and mom's at work or something, I want to be able to be close enough to run and get him. So this whole move, that's the whole purpose for the whole move, right? And, plus both of my kids live up here. My friends live up here. So it just made sense. It was just time. Peter says, wow, not a bad set at all. Congratulations. Well done. Yeah, it's very bare. It's very, very bare. And that's okay. That's okay. Peter, I was explaining to them, I got the sign moved, but I forgot the clicker, so I can't turn it on. And I have looked through everything because I thought there's a stack. I had rope lights. I had the moon thing. Everything had a different clicker, so I had a stack of clickers like about that thick. And I thought I put them in the bag, but apparently I did not. So, because I have looked through everything and I'm hoping that I left them down there because I can't find them up here. There's Roy. G'day, Sly. G'day, Roy. How you doing, bud? Peter says I can make you pancakes with chocolate chips. How about blueberries? I am more of a blueberry pancake kind of girl. Yeah. Now, little man would more enjoy the chocolate chips, trust me. But I did find something that I didn't even know they made, so I'm going to share it with you guys because maybe you don't know they make them, and they're not expensive. So you've all heard of the S-hooks, right? Generally, I have S-hooks all over my desk because they're on all my backpacks. Well, I wanted to hang, I have so many. I wanted to hang them up instead of just have them on the floor. Why am I blinking? I'm not real sure. Okay, Peter, what does it mean when you're blinking? Am I still... I think I'm still good to go. The camera is blinking, so if we lose the camera, I will try to start this over. But I've got a red flashing camera blinking at me. What does that mean? Because it's never done that before. So, I don't know. Anyway, we'll continue on until it says bye-bye. So, this is an S-hook, but it's turned at a 90 degrees. So, when you hang this on your closet rod, let me hang it this way, on your closet rod, then you can hang things and they'll be like this instead of turned like this, right? So I've got my backpacks hung up like this, and you'd be amazed at how many you can get in a closet. So this is like my find of the week. Thank you very much, Amazon. I did not put a link to this in the description because I just got these like at 7:30 tonight, right? And so I'm like, okay, they're a little bit bigger than I thought they would be, but I don't know. Evelyn says, okay, here. Thank you very much. Peter says, you're not blinking here. Well, it's never done that before. It's got like a little red video camera that's blinking. Peter says, could mean you're recording to the card. There's no card in the camera. So, I don't know. But I guess I'll figure it out if it becomes a problem. So, something else I got I actually got it a couple days ago, but I wasn't able to look at it until today. So, you know, little man and I are going to take a couple of trips before he starts school. And one of them is just a quick overnight to go swimming and go play at an arcade. And then the other one will be like a weekend trip the end of this month. So I got a new bag. You knew that was coming, right? And you know, I have got every kind of backpack known to man, I do believe. Okay. But I didn't have one of these. This is made by COR Surf. And what's cool about it, it opens like a suitcase, but you can wear it like a backpack. Now, there's a lot of bags. In fact, I have some that are like, I have a one made by Osprey that's a duffel bag on wheels, and so you can wheel it through the airport. But should you get in an area that the wheels are not really practical, it has got straps you can take out and make a backpack out of it. That's not what I wanted. That's not what this is. I just wanted something I could throw some clothes in, throw the stuff I normally carry in my everyday backpack in there, and then you've got the best of both worlds, and you're just carrying one. And what I love about this is it's very unstructured. And you might say, well, why is that a good thing? Well, because if you don't have very much in it, like right now there's nothing in it, and it's very low profile. But as you pack it out, it gets bigger, and because it's unstructured, it can, if you need bigger stuff at the bottom, it kind of pulls down here. If you know, it just, however you pack it, it kind of conforms to how you pack it. But this is the part I love. Love, love, love. It opens just like a suitcase. And it's not so big that I can't carry it if it's full. It's 28 liters, which is perfect for like a couple of day travel. So I don't know if you can see that, but it opens like a suitcase, you know. And so like this side, you can put your clothes in, which I also bought their packing cubes because, you know, I am a huge, huge fan of packing cubes. Highly, highly recommend packing cubes to any and everybody. Anybody that'll listen. Life changer. So I bought some of their packing cubes. But this, you put your clothes on this side, in theory. And then on the other side, you can put your toiletries here. Or like I have a packing cube for wet swimsuits. Those would go on the side, keep them away from the clothes. And then at the top, you can put whatever you might need access to. There is a front compartment, but I can't think of why you would need access to that much stuff. But if you do, you can get in this without opening the whole bag. So I love, love, love this. It comes in 4 colors: blue, red, green, and the green is kind of like an army green. The red's real pretty, and black. And you know, I don't do black unless that's the only color it's offered in, because I'm not a huge fan of black. So, but then it's got a pocket up here on the front, and all these are the YKK AquaGuard zippers. So, and then you've got another mesh pocket up here. Now this pocket only goes down to about here, so it's not very deep. But if you wanted to keep like your wallet and quick access stuff, earbuds maybe, you'd probably keep them in this front pocket. But then if you wanted to have something a little bit more secure, you could open this up and keep them in this front pocket. Now, this bag shares space. Everything shares space. So whatever you put in one part, you're taking away from another part. So you kind of have to, you know, when you pack, you kind of have to stagger. So, but those, and I haven't got to try it out because I just got it. But the straps are super comfortable, and it's got a couple of hidey pockets on the back. So if you're carrying something you really don't want anybody to know you have, you can hide them in one of these hidey pockets, and they're about as deep as my hand. So it's just, it feels really good. The material's coated, so it's probably, I'm gonna say, weather resistant. I mean, you wouldn't want to like dunk it in the river or anything, but if it got rained on, not a problem. Snow, not a problem. Uh, and from what I have seen, COR Surf is a very small company, and they don't make a whole lot of different stuff. And I think this is the only backpack they make. They make some dry bags, which are wonderful, and dry bags are good for dunking in the water because you roll them up and seal them. So, but yeah, this is going to be mine and Lil Man's like overnight bag type thing. And you can easily get 2 days worth of clothes. If I was going to, let's say, fly to Miami, I could get 3 days. So if you're going for a weekend jaunt, this is the time of year everybody takes vacations. I don't know why you would want to go from a hot place to a hotter place, but let's say I wanted to go to Alaska for for a weekend. Seems a bit far, but it would be perfect. And of course, that would be like a flying trip, but you can that would be all you'd have to take. So yeah, I'm just hugely impressed with that bag. Roy says, you could be a camera revolution. Camera AI is revolting. Yeah, I don't know what the flashing thing is about. And there's Jeff. Hey Sly. Hey Jeff. How you doing, bud? That was my revelation because I do have so many bags. It has been easier moving because I just put everything in bags and then bring the bag up, empty it out, and now that I have these hangers, I can just hang it up and go on to the next one. So I did put several. I think I had 6 boxes, and then it dawned on me, why are you not packing these and just taking them? Yeah, sometimes you get set within a box, and it's hard to think outside the box, and typically you move in boxes, and so that was like thinking in the box. But yeah, so I've been starting to move in all my bags, which I thought that I had put the clicker in said bag, but I guess I didn't. So it's an ongoing process, and I'm not terribly happy with this bare wall, but we'll figure out something. And this room, to give you a perspective, the old room was 15 by 15. This room is 9 by 10. So I've cut a lot of space down. So when I brought my, I used 2 tables as my L-shaped desk, and they're both 6 foot, and they didn't fit. And I had a slight panic attack because I wasn't sure how I was going to get everything set up. And Peter kind of walked me through that. So thank you, Peter. I appreciate the moral support at 2 in the morning. Yeah, it was, and I don't have the lighting just right. I don't have the lighting how I like it. But remember, this is a rental. So at my house, I had put lights in the ceiling. I had a camera from the ceiling for my overhead shot. And here, I don't think they would appreciate it if I started drilling a bunch of holes in the ceiling. So not really sure how I'm going to recreate the lighting, but it's just, I just don't like it yet. It just doesn't have that warm, doesn't give me that warm fuzzy feeling. So yeah, we're going to have to play around with that quite a bit. So, but that's okay. It's a work in progress, and I did try to hang some backpacks on the wall, but because I'm so close to both walls, there's just not room. So if you have any suggestions, ideas, shoot them at me, because I'm struggling with the design aspect. But so how has your all's week been? What have you all been doing? Anything exciting going on? I I saw on Peter's live stream that Charles he went to Universal Studios, which I'm terribly jealous of. I'm going to take my little man there. Probably not this summer because he's just not big enough. You have to be 42 inches tall, and he's there, but you have to weigh over 40 pounds to go on the rides that he wants to go on, and he's fluctuating. So I had him at like 40.2, and this weekend he's at 39.8, and so he's right there. But I think another year will firmly seat him in. So he's a tall, skinny guy. Roy says, photo the backpacks and use a green screen. So I had thought about that too, but I don't know if you have watched people that use a green screen. And if they move, you can kind of see like this buzzing outline. And so I don't think I'm good enough to do that, because it bothers me. When I see people do it, it bothers me. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the green screen. Now, in Hollywood, they have it perfected. I'm not up to that level yet. So, put some lead in the little guy's pockets. Yeah, he's getting very, very tall, but yesterday, my daughter was here cleaning, and so he was here, and he just doesn't like to eat a lot of different things. So we had nothing to cook, and so it was like, okay, we're gonna get takeout, but he doesn't like takeout. So yeah, it was not his average weekend with Granny, because normally we have toaster scrambles and mac and cheese is what the boy lives on, and I had no way to make those. So I am making a list, because every time I get there, I get sidetracked and I start packing up other stuff. And so I'm making a list. I definitely need my toaster and my microwave. And maybe the air fryer, I'm not sure. But definitely the toaster and the microwave. There is an oven here, and I did bring some pots and pans, but there's no food now, so it's pretty much pointless. The food that was here had been here long enough to be scary, because when my daughter moved out, she left the refrigerator full, and yeah, so all that got thrown out, and I have not been to the store, but I have a really nice clean refrigerator to start fresh from. So I think everybody should have to move every few years, because you accumulate so much junk. And so and she was the same way. She's been here 4 years, and she threw away a ton of stuff, right, in just 4 years. So you can imagine after 11 years, yeah. So I filling that trash can up for I think my trash pickup is Wednesday down there. It's going to be Monday up here, but we're filling those trash cans up every week, and letting the trash people just haul off as much as they can. And but it's kind of scary how much you accumulate in relatively short amount of time. I mean, 4 years is short to me. 11 years, okay, I've got probably a little more slack, but my goodness, apparently I don't like to throw things away. So, and thankfully, I'm in a throwaway mood right now. All this moving, I don't want to move it, so I'm chunking it. I can get more when I get up there, right? So, I will move some of the furniture, most of the furniture probably, because I like my furniture. But other stuff that can be replaced pretty cheap, yeah, I'm probably not going to move it. But my backpacks, yes, I did. I moved them. All my cameras, I got them all packed up, and I have not unpacked them yet. In fact, I only have this camera unpacked. I did take all the cameras down, and I have them all here now, but I just don't know how to do the overhead. So if anybody has a solution to that, I am thinking, and you guys can tell me if I'm completely like off my rocker, which is extremely possible. So the mic is on a mic stand that comes up and over, and it's up here, right? So I'm thinking and I have another mic stand that's like bigger, bulkier, heavier. I don't really like to use it because it is so big and bulky. This one is nice, compact. It just kind of fits over here, and it's unobtrusive. Let's put it that way. The other one is bigger and it's more of a in-your-face type thing. But I'm thinking if I use that and pull it over, I would just need the adapter to go from a microphone thread, which, see, I always have this stuff out here on my desk, and it's not on my desk, so it's throwing me. But anyway, the microphone size to a ball head for the camera. I think it's doable. Not 100% sure. I haven't really looked into it, but that was my first idea. If I can't mount it to the ceiling, then that, like an arm coming across up, it wouldn't be up as high, which might be a good thing, because the other one I had to have a ladder to actually turn on and off. So it might be a good thing with it not being up as high. But that's kind of somebody had suggested a C stand, I think is what it's called. Don't have one. And I kind of looked at them. They're a little bit pricey. But if it would stay out of my way, that's the thing. I don't want it to be, because this room is so small, and you know who likes to come in and the PC is his computer, which I don't have that set up yet. It is all up here now, I think. I have all the cables, but I don't have it set up yet. So he was having to play on the Mac, and he's not a fan, and that's okay. But he is in this room and will be in this room a lot playing on his PC. So I don't want it to be something that you have to walk around. Okay. He knows not to touch the cameras. He now knows not to touch the microphone. You know, when he was younger, we had issues because everything has buttons on it, and he loves buttons. But now he does a pretty good job. So I want it to be something I can just kind of set out of the way, but yet come over far enough to aim down at the desk. So, you know, I like to have lots of cameras. I picked that up from Peter. Royce says, I love Century stands, hang everything off of them. I think, do they make a C stand? Because I think that's the one I was looking at, was a Century. And I could not have told you what the name was until you said that. So, but it seemed like it was kind of pricey. But, I mean, if they'll do the job. Now, I would like to put it in front of me to where it comes up and over, so it's not in the walkway back here. But I only have this much space between me and the wall, or like the table and the wall. So the tripod doesn't even have enough room to fully spread out the legs, right? So I don't know how much room on the bottom these things take up, but I definitely, okay, Roy says they are C-stands, they last forever, which is, you know, who knows how long I'll be here. I plan on being here forever. For the rest of my years, I plan on being here, but who knows? God may have something else in store for me, and I just kind of go with flow, go where he leads me. And so being more mobile and not having things mounted in the ceiling, I know you can patch things. I actually had to move the modem. It's a modem and router combo with the service that she's with, from the front room, which all the rooms in this place are big except this one. So I could either make this room like just a sleeping room and use the bedroom, which is huge, to set things up, or put them in the living room. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. This was, like I said again, thinking in the box. This was the most logical because it's the spare bedroom, but it's just very, very small. So I don't think I want it in the living room because I do occasionally have people over. Not a lot, but occasionally. But I could swap the bedroom in here, I guess. So, but I'm going to look into the C-stands, and if they're, not exorbitant where I have to take a loan out for them, I may pick one of those up and I think Tom Buck uses one of those, and he has since switched to mounting it on the ceiling. So it was nice up there, but then you do have to somehow get the wire from the ceiling down across the ceiling and down the wall. And so it's, Lewis, how do you have your overhead set up? I know you have one, but I've never really paid attention to how you have it set up because mine worked. So I didn't need to come up with a different solution, but now I do. So, it's a work in progress. It's going to be, I probably won't have the second camera set up for a little bit, just because if I need to get back there, I have to move everything out and then reset everything up. And so that may be another thing that, I made Peter one of those bars that you can mount the cameras on, and I may make like a shelf for that. The only issue I have with that is the dummy battery goes up from the bottom. So you need a little bit of room for the cord. So there is that. Roy says companies like Newer make more affordable C-stands. Yeah. So I have 2 of the Newer lights, and I'm not impressed with the quality, to be honest. They work. They're functional. I've used them the whole time I've been live streaming. They're okay, but they're very kind of cheap. Like I have and they're the same size. I don't know why I don't use them. They're brighter, I guess. But I have 2 of the ES-DDI lights that are the same size, and they have some heft to them. They feel substantial. These Newer lights, no. I don't know if I can show you. I don't want to turn the light right at the camera because it'll blow it out. But it's got a very cheapy plastic housing. Now this one I just have sitting on the desk here. I don't know where the other one. He and I were just using it for sword fighting. The stand. We were having a little sword fight earlier. The things you do with your grandchildren. But the whole thing is just, it's very, like, you wouldn't want to do that a lot because I think it would wear it out. It's just very, very light, very kind of cheap. So, but I may look into it. I mean, if the Century is just way too pricey, then I may have to investigate alternatives. Lewis says ZV1F connected via USB is my overhead. Yes, but how do you have it mounted? That's the So the Sony ZV-1 is my overhead camera, because it focuses like no other. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of that camera, but the focus on it is bar none. So, and it blows pretty much every other camera I have away. So it's perfect for product shots, right? Where you're kind of moving up and down and changing the plane of field, and and so it will focus on stuff really quickly, faster than anything else I have. So that's why it became the overhead camera. The menu and everything is so different than the Canons that it's just not easy for me to use. So I just use it for the overhead and set it. I think it's set on product display or something, but it has got stupid fast focus, and I like that. But how do you have it mounted? Like, is it mounted from the ceiling? Is it mounted on a stand? That's kind of where I'm at. So, yeah, we'll get this set up, and I'm not sure. I'll probably put some kind of a shelf back there, just because I had a shelf, at the old place, and little man has asked me more than once, where the stuff on my, because I keep a little fox on my shelf, and he wants that fox up here. So I may put a shelf over here, maybe. Kind of recreate what I had, only scaled down. Probably won't have any backpacks up just because there's no room. So we're working on it. It'll come around. One thing I did notice, because this room is so small, and you guys are gonna laugh, there's so many electrical outlets. There's like one on each wall. The room at the house, the room was so big that I couldn't reach the electrical outlets. So everything was run on extension cords, and there was, I'm hugely a fan of cable management, but when you spread things out that far, it makes it a little harder. Well, this room is so small that every time you turn around, there's an electrical outlet, and it's like, woohoo, woohoo, this will reach. I don't need an extension cord. It's the small things in life that, make life fun. Lewis says, my desk cage, I have a ball head from the top of a tripod attached to the shelf, overhead. I have a tripod. Okay, I have a ball head. I have plenty of those, attached to the shelf overhead. Okay. Yeah, I would have to build something, I think. So, C-stand it might be. I think, Lewis, I think you're in an even smaller space. So you're like the king. My hat is off to you, because now I'm sure I'll get used to this, but going from a really large room to a really almost like a closet. I mean, this is your standard kid's bedroom, 9 by 10, very, very small. Thankfully, it does have a reasonably good closet, which the other room was so big, the closet was so far away. I mean, 15 by 15 is a fairly good sized room, and it just wasn't cozy. This is very cozy. There's Charles. I was just saying, Charles, that I was envious of you getting to go to Universal Studios and the new Harry Potter thing, and I hugely want to go do that. So I think little man wants to go to the Jurassic Park thing, and so I think when we go, we'll make a family vacation out of it, and we'll probably stay a week and get to do the things I want to do, the things he wants to do, and I'm sure my son and daughter have things that they want to do out there. So we'll probably just make it a whole family affair, and probably next summer, because he's not quite big enough. He wants to do one of the Jurassic Park rides, and you have to be 42 inches tall and 40 pounds or more. And he's fine on the height. It's the weight. I can't get him. He's fluctuating. He's fluttering. Like today he was 39.8. Last weekend he was 40.2. So he's fluctuating. So another year and he'll be good to go. But Lewis says, I can show you tomorrow. Yes, please. Because I don't have, I have my light stands. I mean, they're pretty tall, and I have like a backdrop. It's got like two stands and then a bar that goes across, and I think it goes out to like 12 feet or something. You can make it smaller. And so I could, see, now you get me thinking, Lewis. And that's why I love you guys, because you come up with so many good ideas that I just have never thought of. But I could put that across and then somehow attach a bar out and over the desk to come down. So, yes. Charles says, wait until Epic Universe opens in 2025. Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking is at maybe next summer when he's a little bit bigger. Because I want him to, number one, I want him to remember if Granny's going to be dropping a ton of money on a vacation, I'd kind of like him to remember it. And number two, he needs to be a little bit bigger, I feel like, to ride some of those rides. Because, when that bar comes back, it's supposed to hold you in. And if you're too little, it's not going to hold you in. So, I would like him to be a little bit bigger. So, and he is over half as tall as his dad, which I think is hilarious. He came to pick him up today, and his dad is not very tall. And he walked up, and I'm like, oh, he's over half as tall as you. But it's the weight thing. The boy doesn't like to eat very much, so. He's a very busy child, and he will eat if I have to coax him into eating by offering him YouTube. He can watch his shows on YouTube while he eats, and that way, and he does it mindlessly, and before you know it, it's all gone. And so that's how I ply him into eating more. But if you actually sit down for a meal, he takes 3 bites and I'm full. I can't eat anymore. My belly's full. And it's like, it can't possibly be. He's like, well, it is. And so we do this thing where I poke him in the belly to see if it's full. And he's now figured out that he can take a really deep breath and pooch that belly out really far. It's actually quite comical. Roy says, duct tape him in, right? Lewis says, I have a new idea to replace a C-stand in my setup. I think you might be able to use something similar. Awesome. Yes, I am all about, trying something new and just see if it works. But I do think I need to be, like right now, nothing is mounted. Everything is very portable. And I think I need to keep it that way because, number one, it is a rental. And number two, they may decide they don't like me and kick me out or something. I kind of doubt that. But as long as you pay the rent, they're probably pretty happy with you staying there. But if I start drilling a lot of holes in the ceiling, they may not like it. But I did, as I started to say earlier, I did have to reroute the modem and the router into here. And so there's like a connecting wall to the living room where it was. Who does that? Who brings it? I don't know. I don't know what these cable companies are thinking. Why would you bring it into a living room? Who has a computer in their living room? I don't know very many people. It's usually tucked off in a bedroom or something. But so I had to reroute that. And because the connector was so much bigger than the wire, it's coax cable, I had to drill a fairly good sized hole, but I just took some spackling, spackled it right up, And so you can't even tell. It just looks, and it's all nicely mounted to the baseboard, so it doesn't catch your eye. If you look for it, you can see it, but it's so unobtrusive it doesn't catch your eye. And so I don't think they'll have any. I don't even think they'll notice it, unless I point it out to them, because there's no gaping hole at the end of the cable run, right? So it looks very nice. And Charles says, are you redoing your studio setup? So, Charles, I've moved, or I'm in the process of moving. Let's put it that way. I don't have all my furniture up here yet, but I am staying up here. And tomorrow I'll have food in the house. I have to make a run to the grocery store. But, so yes, I am redoing everything. And it's on a much, much smaller scale. So before I had this big room, and now I have a little teeny tiny, a little bit bigger than a walk-in closet. So, yeah, it's quite a change. So yes, I am having to redo everything, having to rethink everything. I don't have the, like at the old one, I had room for the fireplace behind me. And I had my cameras and stuff set on top of that. Well, there's no room in here for a fireplace. So it is now in the living room. But, so yes, I'm having to completely redo everything. So, Louis, this room is 9 by 10. And the 10 way, there's a window to my left. And there's a closet on my right. So I didn't want either of those for my backdrop. And then the 9-foot way is two bare walls, two blank walls. So when I first set it up, I really thought that the wall in front of me was going to be the wall behind me. And it's the whole expanse of the room. And the tables wouldn't fit. Now, I bought these tables at the same time. They're the same company, supposed to be the same size. They are not the same size. One table is almost 2 inches shorter than the other table. So go figure. But yeah, it's 9 by 10. Charles says, actually, there's plenty of room for a fireplace. Well, it may look like there is, but there isn't. I mean, so it's 9 feet this way. I'm 5'4". So there's just not a lot of room in here. There's a lot of stuff that I've moved under the table. The cart that used to sit at the end of this table where the PC is, it has to be in the closet because there's not room for it. So yeah, there's a door. If I open the door, it would be right at the edge of the screen. So yeah, it's not very big, but that's okay. It's cozy. Roy says 9 by 10 isn't a room, it's a closet. Exactly. Yes. If you were to put up closet rods all the way around the room, you would have a nice walk-in closet. But it's not really big enough to be like a studio. So my grandson had his bed in here, which was a toddler bed. And then we moved him up to a twin size, and the twin size was borderline. There wasn't a lot of room left for anything else. So this room was pretty much all twin size bed, and his dresser was actually in the closet. So, yeah, it's small but cozy. Charles says you just have to think out of the box. That's yes. There has been a lot of that going on this past couple of weeks, because I was moving everything in moving boxes, and then it dawned on me I have all these bags. Why don't I just utilize them? Because I got to move the bag anyway, right? So I started doing that, and it was just one of those moments where you go, duh, you know. But when you think of moving, you think of moving boxes and moving in boxes and what have you. And so, plus I'm still working way more than full time. So hopefully that will slow down a little bit as summer kind of in retail. You're always a few months ahead. So we're starting to get Halloween stuff in. And as that kind of comes in, we'll start slowing down on some of our other freight. So hopefully I can cut back to just 40 hours a week. That would be absolutely fantastic because, yeah, 50 hours a week is a little bit much. Yeah. So, but once I'm moved 100%, it'll be so nice. I have done live streaming in a room only 5x5, yet it looked like I was in a huge room. Well, yeah, but Charles, you're way more experienced at this than I am. So you have to remember baby steps, you know. I had a huge room, and so I didn't need to make it look like it was a huge room. And now I don't. So so we're going to go for the cozy, the warm, cozy, inviting look. Yes. We'll see how it manifests itself. This was the best I could do with like quick notice, right? And like I said, I forgot the clicker for the sign, so you know, it is what it is. And I don't have, because I'm not traveling, so I don't have travel stuff with me. But I'm sleeping here, and so I took a shower, but I don't have today I went and bought toiletries because I had to use my daughter's this morning, the stuff that she didn't want, the stuff she left. And so it's not even really good stuff. So yeah, we're just kind of in it'll get better as it goes, right? Jeff says, is this your new place? Yes, it is. And the living room and the bedroom, the master bedroom, are huge. They're ridiculously big rooms, which is great because I have a lot of furniture. I'm going from 2,100 square feet to 1,100 square feet. So this room is almost like an afterthought. Like they could have made this room 4 feet bigger and taken 4 feet out of the living room, and the living room still would have been a good size. But that's good. It's okay because I'm combining a den and a living room full of furniture. I have way too much stuff. And so my daughter was giving me a hard time saying, I'm going to have enough seating for 20 people by the time I'm through. Well, I probably will because I'm combining 2 rooms of sitting into one. So yes, I do have a lot of stuff. Charles says green screen works wonders. So we kind of discussed that a little bit earlier, Charles. I'm not a huge fan of people at my skill level using a green screen because everything comes out fuzzy around the edges, right? And if you move, you see that kind of that blur. So now for people like in the movies, the green screen, they have it perfected, right? You can't even tell. But people at my skill level, not so much. And when I watch somebody that has a green screen and it's done poorly, it really bothers me. So I don't want to be that person. Charles says, or a wall projection from a projector the size of a cigarette box. Ooh, now that idea I do like. Because I can mount a shelf on this wall and project something. That I do like that idea, Charles. I may have to check into that. Are they ridiculously expensive? Um, Roy says, I'm fuzzy around the edges without a green screen, right? Yeah, I'm kind of, I am tonight, especially because I don't have my hair products with me, right? I don't have like, I don't have any makeup with me. I'm just kind of very much raw, right? And so I hesitated to go live tonight, but I'm like, you guys are family. I don't think you're really gonna care, and I've missed you. I missed last week, and so I wanted to come on anyway because I do miss you guys. I miss seeing you every week. So I did try to watch Peter's show, which was very brief. He's supposed to like bleed over past 10 o'clock, which is 11 o'clock his time. Charles says they start at $200. Okay, well, I mean, that's doable. That's not outrageous. So I might have to look into that and see what they do. Because it wouldn't even have to be, that small. It could be something like yay big. I mean, I've got plenty of room on this wall. I just don't have. There's not a lot of room back there. And it's okay. The door opens onto this wall behind me. So that takes up 28, 30 inches, something like that. So in a room this small, you count inches. Yeah. So, but it's all good. It'll be what it's supposed to be, and it'll come out the way it's supposed to. I am going to look into that C clamp thing, C stand, to where I can get a camera overhead. Oh, thank you. I'll send you some links. Thank you very much. I'd appreciate that. So yeah, oh, and the fact that you're moving to London, really? I'm hoping it's London, England. I'm a huge fan of England. I've got a real good friend that lives there. And if I ever have the time, when I retire, hopefully she and I will not be so old that we can't get around. She has invited me to come stay with her. So, and then she's going to be my tour guide. So I'm thinking like a 2-week trip. And because once you get there, I think there's a 6-hour time difference. And once you get there, you really need a day to acclimate back to the time schedule. And then have enough time to go and get to see the sights. So I'm thinking it will definitely take like 2 weeks. And when she flies back and forth to the States, you one day is like a travel day, and one day is an acclimation day, and then you can kind of go from there. So going and coming back, that's 4 days, and so you need some other time to be able to see everything. And so a week is not really long enough. But yes, I love London. Roy says London is far too cold. I think London's weather and Oklahoma's weather is very similar. It's like I'm in northeastern Oklahoma, and we get so much rain. It's ridiculous. But it makes everything really green. And so they call this area green country because everything is ridiculously green because we get so much rain. And then it gets cold, and then it gets like right now, it's really, really hot. I think it made 100 degrees today. So, yeah, we kind of have all the different things. Charles says, yes, me and Jasmine are heading there. I think you'll enjoy it. If you like the British culture, I think you'll really enjoy it. They're a little bit more reserved and a little bit more formal than we are here in the States. And I don't know, you come from a vacationer's paradise. So it may be maybe too reformed for you. I don't know. Charles says, we'd rather be drinking tea than coffee. Well, they do drink coffee over there too, but so they do call a lot of things weird names. Like a biscuit is not a biscuit, and tea time could be a coffee break. It doesn't have to be tea. It's just a time to take a break. It's break time. Yeah, I guess here we call it break time. It's tea time over there. Roy says, best thing in London is visiting Grays of Westminster. So my friend lives right smack dab in the middle. And so we have talked about this extensively, that from where she lives, you can go either direction and get to the coast in a day, because she's just smack in the middle. So she's not in London. She's in Northamptonshire, I think is what it's called. It's a really, really long name. And when they say it, it sounds really pretty, but when I say it, not so much. Peter says, I can mention from experience that green screen is piss poor, but the Westcott blue screen is magical. It's got to be the Westcott, though, as it has no sheen to it. That slight sheen makes it a downer. So the only issue with the blue screen, it's my chair's blue. So you would have like where all these lines are, it would like bleed into, yeah. So if you're working with a green screen or a blue screen, you don't really want to wear green or blue, right? Charles says, yes, I agree with Peter. And Peter says, a biscuit is a cookie. I'll take 2, please. Right? That's kind of, that's the one, like pudding. We think of pudding as pudding, right? But apparently over there, pudding is dessert. It's just another name for, it's not really pudding. It could be cake. It could be whatever. And they just call it pudding because it's, instead of saying dessert, which, why don't they just say dessert? Yeah, I don't know. But there's a lot of just little words that don't mean the same thing over here that they do over there. So, and apparently, like, if you went out to a restaurant, you would never, ever, ever go out to a restaurant in a t-shirt. That's just not done. So the shirts have to have collars, and even for women, even the blouses have to have, you know, you just don't go places in t-shirts. So if you do, everybody's like, oh, you're an American. Well, why? Yes, I am. So, you know, but if you want to blend in, yeah, leave your t-shirts under your shirts. There you go. So, but guys, I am going to head out. Well, it'll be something different next week. Lewis, I will try very, very, very hard to be somewhere stationary come tomorrow night. May not happen. I'm usually running up and down the road. But since I'm not having to go back home and I'm staying up here, I'm hoping I have more time on the weekends because I'm not having to make that 45-minute drive. So we'll see where I end up. But I am going to bring up, I do have to mow the yard down there tomorrow, and I'm going to bring up another load. So it's a never-ending story, guys. Peter says a t-shirt over the chair will fix that up. You have some awesome t-shirts. I have a lot of t-shirts, that's true. And Lewis says, saying thank you. Lewis, you come up with the greatest ideas. You guys are just, all you photography types are very creative. So I've learned a lot from you guys, so thank you very much. But I will see everybody here next week. If you haven't, I don't even know how many we have. Yeah, if you haven't, be sure and hit that thumbs up button. I always forget to say it. And I will see everybody next week, and I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Do not miss the Amazon Prime sale the 16th and 17th. It's coming up Tuesday and Wednesday, and they're going to have some fantastic bargains. If you do decide to shop on there, use my link. One of them, I've put links in every video, I think, but because it does give me a little something. But anyway, I love you guys, and I'm so glad everybody came in tonight. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next week.